Hey, Eileen. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing today, Mark?
I'm alright. So, since we're kind of new to this, it is very common, actually it's a practice,
Okay.
that when you talk to each other and you're on social media, like a film like this or a vlog or whatever you want to call this, that you actually say where people can find you. So, for example,
We haven't done that yet, have we?
we haven't done it once.
Well,
So, for example,
here's a new Band-Aid.
people can find me on YouTube, Mark Oberg, or you can find me like on Facebook, Mark Oberg Realtor, all one word.
Gotcha. I'm on Facebook, Eileen Shaw, 2 words. I have a business page, but I'm not as active on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working really hard to be more active on my Facebook page.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, I've got a website, eileentshaw.com. I had to stop and think.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, so it's very common to say that. So on every video when we do something like that, we're gonna want to say that just in case it's somebody's first time.
Oh, sure.
Doing it, and they want to know how to find us real quick rather than going down the description.
Yeah, and I'm going to add one more thing. My
Okay.
name is spelt a little different.
Yeah.
It's Eileen, E-I-L-E-E-N. And if you email me, you have to put the letter T in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then then Shaw, my last name, at Gmail. There's a veterinarian out there, and she has gotten some of my emails. I had to use my middle initial. So she doesn't forward as much anymore as she once did. She has sent me nice emails.
Yeah. Well, at least she was helping you out on that.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. That was a shocker the day I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got your CPAR badge on today. Did you go CPAR this morning?
Oh yes, we had a brunch this morning. It was all the RPAC major investors, and so we met with some government officials and had really good conversations about some of the things that we've been able to help raise awareness on.
Gotcha. Such as?
The realtors have done a lot for the water, cleaning the water in the area. Once a year we have, or actually it's twice a year, we have one of the things that we fund is the area water cleanups all over the state of Florida. But here we went out to the beach and they collected 42 bags of trash and I forget how many pounds it was. 42 bags looks a lot bigger than the number of pounds that they say.
Sure.
But that was one thing. We're about property rights, and so we go to Tallahassee once a year and talk to our congressmen and representatives and call them out if they're not taking people's rights seriously. We just try to keep everybody informed.
Right. So what's a topic maybe that you have brought up to some of our local politicians lately?
Well, lately one of our big issues is affordability housing. Our area, because of the price increases that we've seen over the past few years, there isn't any, especially in this last year, there's very few properties that are under 200,000.
Yes.
And a lot of those programs, there's one called SHIP, and that they do help with down payment assistance, and basically it's a second mortgage on the home.
Yes.
But it's not, it's something that gets paid if the home's sold. And I do a couple of try to do at least one a year, and I had one for this year, but we literally got priced out.
Yeah.
Because the house has to be at a very high level of quality. Condition, thank you, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
So we got priced out, which was really a bummer.
Yeah, I've seen something like that long ago. It was maybe like a writer, not a writer, it was kind of attached to or a subset of like a FHA or a VA loan.
Exactly, much more stringent.
Or an FDA loan.
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult loans to get.
Yeah.
And just to get qualified to go look is one thing, and then when they actually, there's very few banks that or lenders that will go through them, so it's a lot of work. But you're doing the right thing, by getting this person in a home.
Sure. Yeah, I know. housing affordability has been a problem since I started in real estate. The values just keep going up and up and up. The cost of everything keeps going up, so there's just fewer people that can afford to buy homes. And then when there is a severe inventory shortage, that increases property values because demand is up. So even though you may have a well-qualified first-time buyer, when one of those homes comes up for sale,
there's people standing
wants
in
it.
line.
Everybody wants it.
Yeah.
So it's really tough on that. And then it's really hard to try to convince developers and builders to build lower priced, lower valued homes.
It is, because they're still looking to put some money in their pocket as well. So it is very difficult. Some of the other things, I mean, just like what we were talking about, the low inventory, and then where we're still a seller's market. I got an FHA customer. I haven't had many of those either in the last few years, but it's just the way our market's going. But it's taking them twice as long, if not longer. First of all, most sellers don't want to deal with FHA or VA. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame because there's still very well qualified people to buy it. But the biggest issue is it comes in with those repairs that are required
the fixed cost for the sellers.
Yeah,
that's what it comes.
Yeah, with. Most of them, like with the VA, the big one is the big fixed cost is the WDO, or the wood destroying, or the old termite inspection, and then there's after, if the buyer decides to do a home inspection, the appraiser has to be certified to do FHA or to do VA, and there's a small inspection that they do. It's mainly like a 4-point and
it's mostly to make
safety
sure
issues.
It stays within the guidelines. So.
Yeah, but the sellers have to make those repairs legally. The buyer cannot contribute, and people
that
are
has to do with the amount of money they're putting down, because they're supposed to. It's supposed to be a special program where you only make so much money or only have so much money on hand to be able to purchase. Otherwise, if they didn't have that, you would have people who didn't need that kind of special program trying to take advantage of that.
True. And in some cases, especially with veterans, some of them do have cash. Yep. But they're using their what are those called? Their benefit of a VA loan, so that they don't have to put money down, or they can put a smaller amount down, so they can keep that cash in the bank, which, hey, everybody needs an emergency fund. And military, you never know how long it's going to take for things to happen, so you can bring your family to your next assignment. I've had FHA loans where they don't have the down payment, so a family member it has to be an actual direct family member give a gift of an amount to help with the down payment, and that's been successful, or in the buyer having at least the funds for closing costs. So those are the two ways that I've been able to get FHA loans under contract, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's a little bit more difficult these days. Because a lot of the sellers are like, I'll just wait. But usually they don't have to wait. There's so many offers. You've got that cash or conventional loan right there.
On the VA loan, though, there are actually some sellers out there who are veterans themselves who acquired VA.
Yes.
And they will say, hey, bring me them VA loans, because they know what it's like.
Exactly. They know how difficult it is. And then, or just somebody that says, hey, I'm already making more on this house from the sale than what I expected to. Why not help, a veteran or a currently serving military person? And our area we've got Tyndall Air Force Base, we've got the Coast Guard here, we've got the Naval support area that trained all the divers for all of our armed forces, and pilots go through there as well. We've got, I'm trying to think, there's at least 2 Air Force bases west of us, and I get my bases mixed up because I've also been in southern Florida, so I'll start throwing out base names that are down there. So I don't want to list the wrong ones.
There are numerous Air Force and Navy bases.
Yes.
Here in the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Just a ton of them. Well, that was an interesting segue from what did you do at CPAR today?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, but that's true. But we actually talked about those types of loans and how that's a little bit difficult asking for. We've got to find a way to help more of those people.
Yeah. Because
they have the right and they deserve the opportunity to purchase a home, and we kind of did get segued into loans.
That's all right.
But
whatever the topic is. So.
Yeah. So, it was a busy day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually went out and took a look at a new development today, and did a couple of short videos.
Yeah.
We'll get some more of those up later this week. But speaking of FHA loans, I've got a customer now that I'm working with, and we've looked at a lot of, I'll call it a farmette, 10 acres and under, that's large enough for horses, chickens, and whatnot. And it's amazing what you can see out there.
Yeah. We've
got that within, say an hour's drive. That's pretty much the max that I like to work in. And this couple was a referral to me from another agent, so I put my heart in that because somebody chose me to help somebody they
Where's
didn't
that
know.
agent from?
That agent's from Ocala.
Okay.
Yeah, got a few people right now getting a couple of referrals from Ocala, different agents, but that was kind of interesting.
Oh.
So I've got farm animals on my phone now. I've got, well, you'd be surprised.
Sure.
We went to one house and you go out in the backyard and there's a pig, and he was, just got all excited because somebody came out on the back porch. And then we went to another place that had horses and I call them fancy chickens. They're the ones that look like they're wearing bell bottoms.
Yeah.
Their feet are covered, and they've got ruffled feathers versus the smooth ones. And this this pen had probably a dozen, and they were all mixed.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Interesting. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice change of pace to get out there.
Yeah.
No traffic. Oh gosh. So what else did you do today?
Today I started my morning off here at the office, and then as usual, or it seems I'm doing it a lot lately, went out to Margaritaville Watersound today.
Yeah.
Got some folks from Connecticut registered and in queue for a St. Bart's Island collection home. So.
Yeah, we've both been out there. You a lot more than anybody I know, but.
Yeah, it's the popularity of the place has really taken off since the beginning of the year. Last year maybe take one or two people there a month.
Yeah.
But this year
that's less than what you take now a week.
Yeah. So it's really gaining in popularity, and I can't blame them. There's nothing like it.
Certainly not in the Panhandle.
Yeah, in the area, I get asked that a lot. A lot of people will say, "Hey, Mark, I know there's a long line. Is there anything else in your area that's like that?" And I have to say no.
No, there truly isn't for year-round living.
The closest thing for niceness, I think, is kind of Sweet Bay, but they're doing a 55 and up community somewhere out towards Callaway. I saw it. I'm really struggling what the name was, though.
Is that the same? Not Samuel Taylor.
I can't remember who the developer is, and I'm really struggling with what the name was. But I took a look at it, and it's not even going to be anywhere near what Sweet Bay was. It is.
Oh,
excuse
okay.
me. So it's just going to be a typical kind of neighborhood, 55 and up, but.
Somebody that wants something a little bit quieter.
Yeah, Margaritaville
That's
is for those who are going to want an active lifestyle.
And real resorty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to be more of a neighborhood subdivision rather than a resort.
Well, resort, I guess, as far as once the amenities get in place.
Yeah, and they just laid the plumbing for the amenities at the town center. I saw them. I didn't see them go in. I went out on a Friday out to film some build outs, and then the following, I think Monday, people that I had taken there asked if they could go by the town center. So I took them in my car and I drove down that way, and we just stopped at the entrance and took a look and then drove back. So.
Yeah. I was thinking, there's a community here that is not officially a 55 and older, Island Reserve. And
Right.
the interior of that has got a bit of that feel to it as far as the resort and the way it's, landscaped and whatnot. Fabulous pool.
Yeah.
Amenities and, clubs and things within, but it's driven by the people who live there. And over time, it has gotten to that point where it naturally has progressed to a 55 and older, but not because people have aged into it because of who's buying there.
Right.
It's not beachfront.
Nope.
But
it is close to the beach.
It's close. You do need a car. I think technically you can get there on a golf cart because you can cross Middle Beach and
you can get there on a golf cart, but right now I'm really questioning whether you're allowed to park a golf cart there. Are you? If you buy one in Island Reserve,
you're right.
I don't think the HOA allows you to own a golf cart.
I think you're right. And it's because of parking more than anything else.
Yeah, because you don't get. I don't think there's assigned parking, is there? I think it's just a general rule that each unit gets 2 parking spaces.
Right, and
or
there's
can accommodate.
Yeah,
That's a better term. Not get, but can
they're
accommodate.
Not. Yeah, and fortunately, they have plenty of parking there. I have never been in that parking garage where it's been packed.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a huge plus because we've got condo complexes here that are tight on parking.
Yeah.
Where people are looking for off-site parking because it's tight.
Yeah, they reserve spots and everything else.
Yeah.
Reserve parking spaces. You brought up Island Reserve.
Downhill. I'm sliding with it.
You brought that Island Reserve up, and I had a client in there a couple of years ago that they probably looked at 3 or 4. And this is back in the early days of going out and videoing. You film a quick video and say this is what it's like. They ended up buying something that was very similar, but it was over in Navarre. It was the same floor plans, but it was a completely different layout condo complex.
Oh, you'll have to tell me more about that.
And they were more like just. Gosh, I want to say they were more like townhomes.
Okay.
Because they were in blocks of like 6.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, but
Did they have elevators too?
They were in Navarre. No, these were ranches.
Oh.
Those were are there any 2 stories in Island Reserve?
It's a 3. I think they have 3 stories,
right,
maybe 4, but there's an elevator. So
right, those are more
condominiums.
Yeah,
depending upon where you're at, you still may have to carry your groceries a bit, and you'll see folks that have taken the little red wagon or the beach wagon to the parking garage, and they'll leave it there while they're, gone to the grocery store, and they come back and load them up and drive them.
Right. Yeah. No, I just thought it was interesting because they were looking in there. They really like that foyer. You walk into that foyer and it's like a hexagon or whatever. Is it on all those floor plans? Because every floor plan I went in for them. You walk in and the foyer's like a hexagon, and the laundry room was either left or right depending on its inverse, and then the kitchen.
I think that's the center units. I've been in some end units, and I don't believe that's it. They had a hallway going in.
Okay.
And then you go in, kitchen to the right, living room straight ahead, bedrooms off to the left. They do have good storage in those.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
they're made for year-round living, I guess.
Yeah, no, they're made for primary or secondary homes. They're not vacation rentals.
Yeah, that's the biggest indicator.
Yeah.
Is how much closet space, and where do you in storage,
Yeah, especially if it's your primary or your vacation home or your secondary home. But now you brought up something else. So vacation rentals, boy, they're really going through the roof.
They are. You were just telling me, what is it, Aqua? What are they hitting now?
Yeah, so I did some research.
1 or 2 bedroom?
I did some research for a client who has a 2-bedroom, 2-bath end unit. So
yeah, that's premium.
So I was looking at the prices on that, and there are 3 currently listed in there. One for $860, one for $9.5, and one just kissing 1 million.
Wow, yeah, end units are fantastic. You've got better views. You can either have a sunrise or a sunset view. The other thing is you don't have anybody on one side.
Yeah.
And occasionally you'll have windows on that side too.
Well, that's how her unit is. So
she's got
the primary suite accesses the balcony, and the balconies will wrap around all the way to the common living area balcony.
So she's got a good view of the shoreline.
Yeah, she's got a great view
East
of the
or west
shoreline,
view.
and she's got sunset views.
Sunset, but that's nice too. I mean, you can see that all the way past Panama City.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it curves around. One of these days I'll figure out what's exactly out there at the end that you can see on a clear day.
Yeah, I sold that.
But it is pretty.
I sold that unit to her in 2019, I want to say.
Oh, that's.
It was either 2018 or 2019, and she paid $425 for it.
Oh, sweet.
And she called me. She said, "Hey, Mark, I get your market updates." She said, "Are these prices
real?
Accurate?"
Yeah.
So I was like, "Well, let me dig into it." So I dug into it, and I got an eye opener. Looking at that, but then I was looking at some of the 3-bedroom units in there, and they're not even priced at that price. They're under it. That was kind of wacky nutty to me.
Well, it depends on how long they've been on the market.
They were kissing right about the same, around the 800, 700, high 700s.
Are there HOA dues based on square footage?
I think so.
And that could be it. Somebody doesn't want to deal with the HOA.
Yeah, and then, but it's also
the condo association.
Those 3-bedroom floor plans, I believe, were. I've only been in them once. Those 3-bedroom floor plans. So I honestly believe that the other 2 bedrooms are street side. So the really only view you have is Pier Park.
Yeah.
Right, but at night that looks great because it's lit up like Christmas.
That's true.
And then I cannot really remember if it was the actual primary suite on the Gulf side or not. I think that it is, but
yeah. Well,
I was shocked to see that.
And when I talk with property management companies, I guess the sweet spot, for cost of operations, is more in that 1 to 2 bedroom condo too. You can rent a 1 bedroom, especially if it's got bunks, continually.
Yeah.
Sometimes people need that 2nd bedroom, or they'll invite another couple, or another family and let the kids have a slumber party. When you get into that 3 bedroom, the cost to rent goes up because of the square footage and. Are you splitting it with other folks, or are you needing it for family?
But there has been, yes, you touched on something there. So when I first moved here and started working selling in condos, I did that research. Where is the sweet spot? And it's exactly what you said. It was 1 to 2 bedrooms. But over the last 18 months, I would say, the popularity of 3 bedrooms and the demand for them has really gone up. So their values have been.
So their rents are going up too then.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of the COVID effect where people are, having mini family reunions. I say mini, because not everybody is still comfortable with air flying.
Sure.
Coming and seeing how many, what do we need? Do we need to actually rent a house on the sand? Or can we do a 3-bedroom condo? And we got a couple. We got 4-bedroom condo units out here too.
But that
not
also,
as many.
That also played into the demand for beach houses.
Oh Lord.
That have 4, 5, and 6 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So the demand for that is sky high because their earnings have really shot up as well. So, if you go buy yourself a nice beach house along 30A and it's pulling in, 98 gross a year, that's paying the bills, and you're enjoying that escrow. But that's true of any condo too.
Yeah.
Right now. And then another thing is
the biggest thing we've got is the increased value in the rents.
Right.
And equity as values go up.
Yes.
Not everybody's gonna. A lot of people come in. I have to make 10%. I have to make 10%.
Yeah.
Well, if you bought, if you bought 4 years ago, you can make 10% or more.
Yeah.
If you're buying today, we can't say you're going to get 10%
Yeah, no, that is
this
no longer
year.
that's no longer the model.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I mean, not that many years.
Yeah, heck, 18 months ago.
Yeah.
You bought a beachfront condo. If it cost $45,000 market value, you could count on it grossing $45,000. Now that's just not the case because demand is so high. But vacation demand is still very high. So a lot of these are keeping booked calendars, and they are making money hand over fist, and rates have gone up and everything else. A lot of that had to do with COVID, as you know.
Yeah.
You know, only being 5.5, 6 hours away from major metropolitan areas plays in a lot.
Well, and sometimes even farther than that.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
With the airports, yeah.
Well, even without the airports, I've got customers that drive here from Texas.
Right.
You know, they're here. They're usually extended. You know, and come in Friday and go home Monday, kind of thing. But you know, Dallas is that's a long drive.
Yeah.
You know,
straight down 10 though.
Yeah,
There's really not much muss and fuss. Just straight to 10.
Right. It's from here to the Texas border is 8.5 hours.
Yeah, so that's only
I've done
that's only adding 2 more hours than to drive to Atlanta, basically.
That's true. That's true. It depends on what time of day you leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
mean, if you can swap it out with somebody. This girl used to do the 10-hour drives, and 8's gotten hard for me by myself. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if I've worked that day.
So I continue to see that. I think values will continue to rise as long as inventory remains low, demand remains high, but not just demand to buy them, but
to
the rental demand. People are wanting to
vacation
come here.
side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's great. You know, years ago, I told a friend of mine. I mean, years ago. This is when the summit was new.
Oh, that is a very long time ago, Mark.
Yes.
That's more than just years. That's decades. Sorry.
You
had just thought about real estate back then.
We were staying. Well, my parents were selling real estate back then. I had done side jobs and stuff for them.
Well, and technically you've worked in real estate since you're what, 8, 9, 10?
Yes. So, but not licensed.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was there with
child labor.
Right.
Just teasing.
It was a different time back then.
That's true.
Staying there on the beach, and we had just eaten dinner. We had caught some fish. We had gone fishing.
Ooh.
We had grilled it in tinfoil on the grills there at the summit, and we were all sitting on the beach. I'm not sure what we were drinking, but it's probably like rum and Coke or something. But I just all of a sudden I was just looking at the ocean, and I looked at my friend who had been my best friend all the way through junior high and high school and everything, and I looked at my girlfriend, I looked at his soon-to-be wife, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to live here one day.
Did you really?
And they all,
you never told me this story.
I was like, they all laughed at me. They're like, yeah, whatever.
Did you send them a note?
2017? No.
You should.
But no, he saw it on Facebook.
Okay.
And he's like, dang.
You did it. You did. He remembered. He remembered. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I liked it a lot.
Peter and I have always talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we love water. We've family has got a cottage up in Wisconsin, so we go up and hang out on the lake every once in a while. Not as much as we want, because Wisconsin's not a day's drive.
No.
No, and it's far north in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And
didn't we trade Wisconsin to Canada? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, you almost could.
No.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. We always talked about, because we met and married in the Midwest, but I'm actually from the East Coast. We lived all over the United States, and we're drawn to water, and we're always like, hey, maybe someday we'll get a lake house, and it's like, oh wow, they asked you to relocate to Florida, and it's like, where? Panama City Beach. And I'm like, well, yeah, don't even tell me anymore, as long as we can afford to pay our bills, and we've lived here since 2009, and we bought a house in 2010. And we also owned a house in Vero Beach on the Atlantic side, because he was working down there for a while.
Did you still own it?
No. Oh God, did we sell that too soon? I mean, oh Lord, that's like 38 property right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it really is. But we did very well for the 2 years that we had it. I'm not going to go into any more detail on that, but we were smiling.
Well, good.
So, but I miss it.
Do you?
Yeah, we were a house off the beach.
Really? So, I've been to California. I've seen that sand, and I've seen the Pacific
very different,
Ocean
isn't
and
it?
swam in it. I've been to the East Coast on the
Different sand there too.
Yeah, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Yes, those are the only states I've been on the East Coast for the Atlantic Ocean. And there is, in my opinion, the Gulf of Mexico,
hands down.
and the sand and the color of the water and everything makes everything else look trivial.
Well, and just the calmness of our water, many days, even in Thanksgiving, snow, or when snow was falling out at Cape Cod, sitting there in a parka, freezing, but sitting there and watching that water, and it was very soothing then. But I can do that year round here without the parka.
Yeah, you don't need the parka.
And I think I calm faster here just because the water itself is calm.
Yeah.
It gets rougher in the winter months, and that's natural, just with the way the currents run in general, no matter where we're at. And I find that centering that happens very quickly.
That's good.
Even sometimes just showing a condo and you just get a minute or two on the balcony is enough to.
Absolutely. Oh, I love it.
It doesn't take a long time.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Speaking of which,
I'll be right back. I gotta go lock the doors.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Well, I can't talk without you.
Ow, my ear is listening. I'll be right back.
Let's see what my messages are here. Interest rates are going up. That sucks.
See, that wasn't too bad. Did you stop it?
No.
Oh, good.
Just looking at the interest rates going up.
They
settled down a little bit last week, but yeah.
Yeah, I just got a quote today for 4.5 from one of the lenders that sends me notes every once in a while. He usually sends me something on a Thursday, which I love that it comes on a Thursday, just because Thursday's the day when folks are trying to get scheduled for the weekend, and it's like, gosh, call me a little sooner, because I'm usually booked up before Thursday for the weekend.
Yeah, so the Washington AP is reporting 1 year ago today, the 30-year rate stood at 3.18%, and today it is 4.67%. Ouch. Ouch. We got a few more to go. A few more interest rates to go.
Yeah, hopefully they'll slow down with that. But this time of year, the interest rate generally, or at least in the past, spring market, would go up a little bit.
It would adjust a little bit to represent more people were coming into the market, because the lending institutions obviously have to make some money.
Right.
But
this has been coming a lot faster.
These major rate increases are to offset the current inflation that we're experiencing in the market. So, then that touches back on where we started off our conversation earlier with the lending aspects for FHA and VA loans, making it much harder and making affordable housing much more difficult to obtain for buyers.
Because as the interest rate goes up, your buying power goes down.
Exactly.
What the bank will say you're qualified to purchase, that price is going to come down, because your monthly payment's going to go up.
Yep, and then the builders really aren't going to want to build that kind of home, because they need to make money and they need to answer to their investors too. So, not sure what they're going to figure out for that, but hopefully they do work on it coming up. Well, what are you going to do?
Go ahead.
You're looking for?
I'm checking out our stash just in case.
Well, they had a new brochure out. I was going to grab it.
I have them in my car.
Oh, hey, they're in your car.
Yeah.
Well, I think the next one's coming. I know the jazz festival's coming. I think we talked about that last time, didn't we?
Well, we.
I I think we talked about.
We did the unwind. Okay, yeah. So yeah, the jazz festival's next. That's April 20th. That's not that far away. Tomorrow's April.
I know.
Tomorrow is April. I don't know
It's
what
the first.
Yeah.
What do you?
And go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
The other thing that's coming up, April 27th, is the Spring Thunder on the Beach.
Yep.
So that's gonna be busy here.
It typically is.
Yeah. Well, Jazz Weekend is too.
Yeah, that
Also, I would
typically
say
is.
those are about as busy, because some of those folks, for the depending upon when they're coming in for the jazz festival, I've actually seen them hang over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they've got
Well, yeah.
because the kids aren't out of school yet in April.
Yeah.
That usually happens in May, isn't it? I don't have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
It happens in May.
Okay.
So, but yeah, usually there's people who arrive. It doesn't matter really what the event is, you know, because
That's
we're
true.
such a vacation destination.
They arrive the
Just
week
because
before.
a festival runs from April 20th through the 24th, if somebody's got a week off of work and they're flying in, or even if they're driving in from Atlanta, they're going to stay those extra days beyond just
That's
the
true.
festival, and they're going to enjoy their vacation time.
Yep.
So that's the great thing about it.
And I'm jumping way ahead. Of course,
That's okay.
Iron Man's
What
coming
caught
up
your-
too.
what caught your
Iron
eye there?
Man Slam. The Tacos and Tequila Fest. This is going to be the second year for that one.
Oh,
So
really?
This is a new one. So you know, this is an easy one to come to in that the crowds aren't there yet because it's not as well known.
It looks like it's a one-day deal.
Yes.
And it's being hosted at Hammerhead Friends.
Yeah. Now I don't know that they have always hosted it or not.
One of my friends is actually a bartender there.
Oh,
I can ask
find
him.
out.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just staring at the pictures, but Jeep Jam's coming too. We've
Now,
got
are they
Jeeps
going
here.
back to Aaron Besant Park?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it say there any of that's at Frank Brown?
No, but they were talking about that at a chamber meeting. It's
Well, yeah,
gotten
because-
so big, and I want to say the vendors have basically moved to Aaron Bassett.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which way is the right way to. I've always pronounced it Aaron Bassett, but don't worry, I'm not always right.
Aaron Besant.
Yeah.
I say it like I'm French.
There you go. But last year they did like an obstacle course at Aaron Bassett.
So they did that. So yeah.
It
So
was
I
that-
saw him set that up at Frank Brown, which in my mind.
You're right. I'm sorry. Frank Brown is where I saw that.
In my mind, the permitting for that at Frank Brown would be much easier for them
Yes.
to obtain
Yeah.
than it would be for them to tear up.
Yeah, Aaron Bassett's too pretty for.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mean that. It's a place to walk and have a picnic on the ground kind
Yeah.
of place. You know, with the amphitheater.
Yeah.
And the facilities are very nice there,
Yeah.
and more upscale. Where Aaron Bassett, they've got the ball fields and things like that. So they're not going to.
Frank Brown has the ball field.
Yeah,
All right.
You're right. You're
That's
right.
right. Yeah, no. So Frank
See
Brown.
where I spend more time at Bassett.
Frank Brown is either I believe it's a Panama City Beach park.
Okay.
So it is a local government park,
Okay.
probably with some sort of state, because it's also a natural preserve with walks and lakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've got a big size pool there too.
Yeah. So but Aaron Besant is a private field, right? So
Okay.
it's meant for that it's meant for festivals and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they probably don't want people, piling dirt up and making obstacle courses and
No,
stuff
they've got
like
nice
that.
grass.
Yeah.
Even after an event.
But that's what's really cool is that an event can take up both spaces, and both of them are very convenient to one another because
They
it's
are.
literally go from Pier Park Drive to Pier Park North Drive,
Well,
which is where our office is located off of, and then Frank Brown is right there. So
Yeah, and
they're
just a
so
shameless plug, we are on the north side of Pier Park, and we're in between T-Mobile and Men's Warehouse.
Yep, right.
And if you need a bigger landmark, there's
Five Below right behind us.
Five Below,
And the sporting goods
and
store.
the Dick's
Yes.
Sporting Goods, and Texas Roadhouse is here too.
Yeah, Texas
so
Roadhouse is in the parking lot as well.
feel free to come in, ask when you meet Diane at the front desk, ask for Mark or myself. We'll be happy to help.
Absolutely, that's what we're here for.
But
yeah, I like that. So, what else we got there? The summer. So what? I wish I would have listed the bands. Let me look that up. Well, actually, let's see what the acts are for the Seabreeze Jazz Festival. You want to?
Oh, that didn't good. We're using your computer today. I didn't put your name.
It's all right. That's what it's for. All so Sea Breeze Jazz Festival.
And hey, if you guys come to the area, the best map we've got is the free map that's at most stores and restaurants.
Yep.
It's got some pictures and it tells you where a lot of the good restaurants are.
Oh, dang.
What?
CeeLo Green?
Wow. Decision, do you go to the concerts or do you work that day?
Well, I don't know about you, but I've had people say, "Hey, do you want these tickets?"
Well, you never know.
Holy smokes! Well, so how many days is that thing? 4 days?
Yeah, 20th through 24th.
So yeah, it's got Charlie Wilson, CeeLo Green, Bonnie James,
and
Lindsay Webster.
They're playing all day long. It's not like just an evening concert.
Sheila E. Man, there's some really big names playing that. You can tell I'm not a jazz aficionado, but
You've heard some of these.
absolutely. Awesome. That's quite a lot. Holy smokes.
And we're kind of lucky. We get to hear a little bit. We get to hear it when we go out the back door.
Yeah.
You know, we don't hear it while we're in the office. But
No. No, that's awesome.
We'll have to tailgate in our parking lot for lunch.
Well, that's quite a few people. All right, well, that's all I have for today. How about you?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I mean, we kind of touched on the what do you call it? The financing and whatnot. But hey, if you're watching us and thinking, hey, you might want to come down and look at some condos or whatever, let us know as soon as you book your days. Saturday is usually the checkout day, so people check out at 10 o'clock in the morning and check in. Supposed to be at 4 o'clock, depending upon where you're staying. You might be able to check in a little bit early. So in order to see a condo, usually they're going to be dirty, and it's going to be between 10 and 2.
Yeah, it's a pretty small window to see them.
Yeah.
I like you like showing on Saturday. I like trying to show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
If they're vacant.
But yeah, if it's the height of the season, I don't try that. I try to do the Saturdays, but right now we
can still get in because it's more weekend people versus week-long people.
Yep.
You know, Sundays rarely do we get to show because there's very few of the condos that actually turn on Sundays.
Yep, very rare.
Yeah.
So.
But that's okay. There's everybody needs a break, and there's plenty of things to do while we're here.
Tons of stuff.
There is. Well, hope you guys have an awesome day. You know, we certainly enjoyed sitting here talking.
Yep.
We often feed each other information that we find out that just to update each other, which is good.
Yep. Well, until next time.
All right. Take care. Bye.